talk about this a lot, but it really should, be repeated. Are people still coming? We meet as a group of people. People still coming. You wouldn't believe this. I have a mailing list of like 103 people. And, a lot of it is for the classes I have in Europe and Israel, but most of it is here. And I see this thing exponentially growing, and it fills me with a lot of gratitude, because I guess the purpose of doing this is to touch people and to help them have a spiritual life. And I couldn't think of a better way of being served by God, by the universe, than to do this kind of work that can really touch people deep inside themselves and help them to build their own connection with higher energy. And it's what I wanted to talk about. We meet as a group of people, although each and every one of you is in your own house, your own bedroom or office or kitchen or wherever you are. It's still a group of people. And we come because when you come as a group of people, the energy is always more intense, it's deeper, and it really enables us to take in more Shakti and more power, to build our own connection with God. But ultimately, it's about the dialogue that exists between each and every one of us, excuse me, and higher energy in the universe. That's the real dialogue. And I remember once, Rudy came back from a trip to India, and it was a very difficult trip for him. And I was sitting in the back of his loft, and and he came up and he sat down and he started talking, and he said, ultimately, Stuart, we're all in this alone. It's all a conversation between each and every one of us and higher energy in the universe. And what these classes are about is not me getting disciples or students. I'm really not interested. Excuse me. They're about, they're really about the transmission of Shakti and the nurturing of people, so that each and every person who attends them can build a system inside himself or herself that enables them to connect with higher energy in the universe. And as I say all the time, have their own unique connection with higher energy. You're not going to be Stuart. I am not Rudy. You can only be yourself and what your karma is. And my job is not to create Stuarts or to create little Rudys or anything of that nature. My job is to help people find the strength inside themselves so they can have their own unique connection with higher energy in the universe. And that to me is essential, because the uniqueness of every human being makes this meditation that much more interesting. It enables, us to truly understand, we're not here to become clones of other people. We're not here to dress a certain way, to wear a certain turban, to smell of a kind of incense. We're not here to imitate anything else. We're here to have an organic and direct connection with higher energy in the universe. And all I do is transmit the Shakti. It's like food. You understand? This is a gasoline station, for God's sake. You come to get energy. As I say, a refrigerator needs electricity. Human beings need spiritual energy. And it's why this world is so screwed up. Everybody's trying to figure out the planet Earth in their head. And very few people sit and work on themselves and receive the transmission of Shakti so they can build a system inside that truly gives them a deeper understanding about what this life is all about and what they have to do to evolve and grow and build a connection with higher energy in the universe. The ultimate goal is spiritual enlightenment. But spiritual enlightenment is like at the top of a pyramid, and you gotta move from the base of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. That's karma. You understand? That's enabling us to work out the reason we're born on the earth. And how do we work it out? I say it all the time. Happy people are enlightened people. People that truly live here with joy and love inside them, with unconditional surrender inside them. And they can do this not when they win the lotto or something great happens or they happen to get involved in a relationship or so, but it's whatever's going on in the world. The heart can be open because there's that inner strength that enables it to do that. So we as people, are here as a group, but ultimately we're here for each and every individual one of us, because after the class is over, you all return to your own lives. You don't come to my life. You go to your own lives. And I love that. For years I ran an ashram. 9 years in Texas, I ran an ashram. When I finally finished with that, I said, I'm never going to do this again. I said, I don't want people hiding in my shadow, living in my shadow, doing that kind of thing. I want people to come, get the Shakti, and then go back to their lives and to use that Shakti to truly learn how to develop a more conscious, life for themselves, so that it becomes their unique individual reality. And it's not, according to the way I live. Nobody can live the way I live. You understand? And I wouldn't want anybody to. There's nobody on this planet that could have lived the way Rudy lived. It's impossible, And he didn't want anybody to live that way. He wanted people to truly build their own unique connection with God. So this is truly what I'm asking. We come together as a group because the energy will be very strong. But each and every one of us goes back to our life. And we have to go back to whatever our karma is. We got to take the energy. We have to take a chakra system with us that's strong enough to really overcome all the obstacles and limitations in ourselves and build a system that's strong enough to attain a state of spiritual enlightenment, to activate the Kundalini and allow the Kundalini to be a pathway to our enlightenment. So please try and work, deep inside and just be grateful that you can be here. I'm grateful that I'm here, that all of you are here, and I can sit and do this thing. And it's, it's this kind of miraculous technology that I'm not a technological person, I'm anything but. I spent my life mostly, buying and selling art and collecting art, and that's what I did, and it had very little to do with technology. It was kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, more than living in a technological world, that world of the art business, especially the Asian art business. But this is different. You understand? We are given the gift of being able to sit here and do this together. And we have to respect that gift. And we have to really understand that we're here for a singular purpose, and that's to build our own unique connection with higher energy in the universe. And I think, to me, that's, when people do that, it really opens my heart in such a deep way. And it's a sign of your growth, of my growth. It's a sign that I'm really doing the job I was born here to do, that the universe wants me to do. And you couldn't give me a better gift than doing what I'm asking you to do, to develop your own unique individual connection with God, not through some ego image that you have of yourself, but through a state of unconditional love, unconditional surrender, unconditional inner awakening, not through some image you have of who you think you are and what you are. I had to let go of that image many, many years ago. Rudy made me let go of that image. Every time I had that image, he would bust my ass so badly that I finally decided it's not worth having that image of myself. So let go, open, and truly allow yourself to evolve inside, and allow this work to truly nourish you inside so you can continue to build a connection with higher energy in the universe. We'll have a meditation class. And if anyone has a question after the class, please try and sit still, everybody. It's really important. You move, you disrupt the whole flow of, unless it's, kriyas, your hands go up in the air or your head swivels or, that's one kind of movement. But scratching, fidgeting, playing with your hair, your eyes, taking off or putting on sweaters. I mean, it really disrupts the flow of energy in the meditation. So try and sit still. We'll have a meditation class. And again, God bless you all. Thank you for being here. It's a great honor to do this. And I really appreciate, the capacity we can get together here 4 times a week and do meditation of this kind of depth. And we'll have a meditation class. If anyone has a question, I'd be happy to try and answer it.
Yes, Stuart?
Yes?
I had a question about dealing with people who perhaps don't understand our practice. Sometimes they're even afraid of it. And I'm sure it's something you ran across when you were in Texas.
Well, the answer is simple. You have to respect other people. And you have to learn how to talk to people and what their interests are, what you can communicate to them with. And I think it's your responsibility. You're doing this, you're supposed to be developing consciousness. And when you're around people that are not interested in this, they're threatened by it, I mean, talk to them about, I don't know, the weather, baseball, football, anything. But don't start, going on and on about, meditation and yoga and Kundalini and because, it's, look, I can tell you a story. I mean, I remember once I was sitting in one of Rudy's classes and it was really a powerful class. I mean, I practically floated out the door when the class was over. And I walked across Manhattan back to my apartment, and there was a friend of mine who lived in the same building. And I walked up the stairs, and there he was standing on the landing in the stairwell. And I started going on and on about the meditation, the class. And by the time I was finished, said I was completely drained of my energy. And I could see him kind of floating in his world or whatever it was, And I realized something, my responsibility is not to give away the incredible energy of these meditation classes to people that are not ready to have it. My responsibility is to truly, build a dialogue between myself and God and then tune into other people and, what they want to hear, what they talk, what their interests are. And I think it was an incredible experience that for me, because it really taught me a great deal about how to communicate and ways to communicate and how not to live with expectations about the way people should function and what you think people might be interested in. People are intimidated by this. My family was intimidated by this until, they began to find out what it was. And then they came to me to do healings, my mother came to meditation classes. I mean, but people have to be ready for this. And I really mean that. It's not something that everyone in the world is ready for. And when you talk to people, you have to be conscious about how to communicate with them, about what they really are ready to. So, every time I used to meet this friend of mine, talk about Ernest Hemingway, literature, American literature, Dostoevsky, things that I knew he could relate to. And it really became, the relationship got better, everything got deeper. And I never felt again that my energy was being drained out of me because I'm giving away the power of these classes to somebody who is not ready to receive it. So you can't blame the other people. You have to be really conscious about who you're talking to and what you can talk to them about. And that's part of the growth. It'll enable you to relate in a much deeper level with your family, you know? Because most people in people's families are not ready for this kind of meditation. So, you know, try that. Try to be conscious about the way you communicate with people and what they're ready for, what they can listen to, what doesn't intimidate them or threaten them. And I think that's just an incredible way of working out karma on this planet, you know, learning how to communicate with people without intimidating them, with the greatness of Kundalini yoga. You know? Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I hope that's clear, you know.
Yes, thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, I can talk to all of you this way because you're ready to hear these things. But I don't talk to my daughter this way. I don't talk to, you know, people that come into my life this way. I don't talk to people I used to have business this way. But you all are here because you're ready to hear these kind of things. You're open to receiving them. It's a hard lesson we have to learn, and we can't blame other people. We have to accept our own limitations and how we interact with the world, and then learn from it and grow from it. And does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no questions, then there'll be meditation on Thursday. And again, God bless you all. Thank you. And I think it's a great blessing to be able to share everything I've learned with people that attend these classes. It's a very difficult thing to do in everyday life. And when one can open to this kind of depth and allow even the words to be strong Shakti and full of knowledge and whatever kind of wisdom they're sending through me. Because I tell you, frankly, it's not me talking, it's a higher force that comes and does all this. And I just open and let it come through. And I have so many years of training that you simply get out of the way and let this higher energy nurture not only myself, but everybody that attends these classes. So bless you all, thank you. And we'll have meditation on Thursday, and I hope to see everybody then. Stay safe, wear a mask, don't get sick. I mean, we're living, I mean, telling you, this COVID thing is turning all of us into monks. It's really, you know, you can't do anything except that, you know, meditate is probably the greatest thing you can do at this point in time.
Sure.
So bless you all and thank you. And we'll have class again on Thursday, and I'm hoping to see everybody.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Stuart. Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night. You're welcome.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.